Welcome in. Thanks for joining us for the WHHI Daily News, where we strive to bring you more Lowcountry news more often. I'm Bob Stevens. We are liable to see some high surf, rip currents, and maybe some rain, but nothing like it could have been, as the forecast for tropical storm Imelda has it tracking well offshore up the coast of Florida and then turning hard right out to sea on Tuesday when it becomes a hurricane, but with nothing really to damage. The most impact we expect to see now could be a 1 to 2 foot storm surge. We got plenty enough going on ashore here in the Lowcountry. An ICE raid of a landscaping company in Bluffton has resulted in the arrest of 5 Hispanics for identity fraud to obtain employment. The raid took place behind the Southern Marsh Nursery in the Pritchardville area and was assisted by the State Law Enforcement Division with support from the Beaufort County Sheriff's Office. At least 15 law enforcement vehicles were reportedly involved, and a drone was used overhead. It has been a deadly first 3 quarters of this year on Lowcountry roadways, and it turns out even in a grocery store parking lot. A pedestrian was struck and killed by a semi-truck in the Harris Teeter parking lot on the north end of Hilton Head Island Thursday afternoon in broad daylight. No other details have been released. It's unclear whether the truck driver will face criminal charges. The Island Packet reporting the death as the 4th of a pedestrian in Beaufort County this year, the 16th overall traffic fatality in the county. There seemed to be no end to the visits for accomplices to the Murdaugh financial cases, court visits that is. Former bank executive Russell Laffitte back in a state courtroom Monday to learn the sentence he will face for pleading guilty last week to about half of the state's 21 financial crimes charges, expecting to receive an 8-year prison term for helping Alec Murdaugh steal millions from his clients. As part of the deal, the state will liquidate more than $3.5 million in bank stock owned by Laffitte as restitution for the victims. Also, as a part of the deal, Laffitte's state prison sentence will run concurrently with a proposed 5-year federal prison sentence. Including time already served, Laffitte could actually be freed as early as May of 2027. And the city of Beaufort is now evaluating its options to deal with issues that have forced the closing of Chambers Waterfront Park. The 50-year-old front porch of the historic city has now been closed for 3 months, and the path along the Beaufort River could be shut down for up to 5 years, depending on what decisions are made on fixing the deck on which the path sits. It's called the relieving platform. Among the questions still left to answer, the city has to decide if it wants the area to be a park or a shipping berth, or both, and how much flood defense to install to protect downtown businesses from high tides and storm surges. The city manager says any fix could run over $100 million. City officials leaning toward 3 options right now: either rebuilding a new relieving platform, building a seawall instead, or coming up with a hybrid structure that could involve floating docks. Consideration for cruise ships and shrimp boats also has to be factored in. For more details on these stories and other Lowcountry news, we invite you to visit the sources listed on your screen. Still plenty ahead on the WHHI Daily News. We're going to talk about maybe the busiest chamber of commerce in the Lowcountry, and it might not be the one you're thinking of. And we'll have another wrap-up on the Bridge Bowl coming up from Justin Jarrett a little later on. Stay with us.